Alright, hello and welcome everybody. Midwest F1 Division 5 going tonight for me. We are at the Italian Grand Prix in Monza. We have a 17 driver grid tonight. Had a couple late that couldn't make it, and then one that didn't show, but we still a good grid at 17. See some hot action here in this one. Got a few reserves coming up from Division 6. And we also have a few reserves who are just strictly reserves. I'll go through the order here in just a moment as we load up. We'll do an 18-minute short qualifying session followed by a 50% race. I believe is 36 laps if I remember right. Hopefully somebody will give us a update on the weather as it goes here. A little shout out in the chat. Gingy, thanks for the bananas. Welcome, Drink Alchemy. Appreciate the views as we're going here. Everybody make sure you always like, follow, and subscribe. Like I say, we have the countdown starting. Oh, and I see wet race is what the call is here. So, looks like a dry qualifying followed by a wet race. So, always makes the qualifying session a little more interesting when they do it that way, because then they have a little more free reign with the tires. Anybody who is in there, is it a full wet race? Is it supposed to stay wet the whole time, or is there a chance of it drying up? That also plays into it here. As we see a few drivers starting to pull out on track here, we'll get some of the menus pulled up. Kind of get ready to go here. Looks like Anto81CA is going to lead the way out. We'll just kind of ride on board here as everybody's on some out laps. Kind of go through the order here. So the Alfa Romeo team tonight will have Chatty Duck is a reserve. He'll be in there for Jackson Altman tonight. And then GSR Gabriel, who I do not see on the grid. I do not see him, so it looks like he didn't make the call either. In the AlphaTaurs, we got Chunky Corgi, and then the Warrior 1100. Let's see, they got a couple of DNFs between them, and then it looks like Warrior week 1 in Abu Dhabi got a 4th place, so they'll be looking to capitalize on that and bounce back from that DNF last week. Over at Alpine, Dusty Lusky is reserving up into the Division 4 this week. Merfola will be taking his place. Let's see. Merfola is out there, correct? Okay, yep. As we see this lap starting here for Anto. we'll jump on board with this. We can kind of ride along as I go through the rest of the order. Coming into 1 and 2, this would be an exciting turn 1 for lap 1 as he overshoots that a little bit. Looks like he is going to invalidate. Next in line is, looks like Alex, but he's letting people by. Looks like Brian Mosser will be the next one around. It's only 27 laps? Is that right? I thought it was more than that. That's a really fast race. I guess we'll see. So then at the Aston Martin, you got ZGS 23, and then Fee-Man is a no-show tonight. Didn't make the call for the grid. So there will not be a second Aston Martin tonight. Going with Brian Mosser here, coming down that back stretch. Coming to this final right-hander here, really tricky corner. You really got to be easy on it. As much as you want to really slam back on the gas, you got to give it a second. Let the car settle and then get yourself going. Long front stretch here. He'll set this to first time of the night, 121.638. I think that's a good banker lap for him. That Chunky Corgi, the next one to come across the line. Looks like he must have been invalidated. And then, let's see. Trying to find some more. Lone Wolf comes across line 123. Warrior to a 121.9. Noganator 134. Looks like he must have had some issues on his. ZGS will be the next one across the line here. 121.846 puts him into P2. Looks like maybe a Red Bull coming across there. Didn't set a time. It looks like a 78 Corvette will be the next one. He's going to go to P6, 124.824. Thank you everyone for joining today. Stay active in that chat. Let me know you're there. I appreciate all of that. And now back, we got the Ferrari as the next team we'll go over. Brian Mosser with back-to-back 9th place finishes. Then the Lone Wolf will be the other Ferrari, 6th and a 10th. So 4 races between the two of them, 4 top 10s. That's a good recipe in this league. The way the points are set up, finishing races is key. Mosser sets up another fast lap, 121.604. A couple more coming around there. Looks like Chatty Duck goes to a 122.164 on the mediums. So you see a few mediums in that mix, mostly all softs. So then in the Haas tonight, Disgruntled Muppet couldn't make it tonight. I believe it was a family issue he had to take care of tonight, so he is not there for the Haas. The other one, Grumpy Old Catman, reserving up in Division 4 tonight. Green Hornet 316 will take his place. Green Hornet up from Division 6. So we'll see what he can do for the Haas lone driver tonight. He'll have at least not have to worry about a double stack. In the McLaren team, you got the Noganator. And then XRSka is in Division 4 tonight. Texas Rooster 24 is going to take his spot there up from Division 6. Jaser Nasser is in the Mercedes. He's actually up in Division 4 tonight. That one is taken by A78 Corvette. And then also joining A78 is going to be the Rob HD. He is going to be in the other Mercedes. Your Red Bull team tonight is going to be Team B7 Racing, along with a familiar face if anybody was around last season. I believe he was here as recently as last season. Tiok 91. He's going to be in the Red Bull for Enrique. Enrique's out tonight. Then you got Deer Racing out tonight. His spot's taken by that Anto 81 CAA. He's in the Williams. Alex Kuko? I call him Alex. We're going with Alex. He's going to be in the other Williams. That's going to round out your field for tonight. As you see, some times being set up, Warrior on the pole right now with a 121.041. Tiok right behind 121.515. So you're starting to see those times go down. Definitely think we'll see a 120, mid 120 here before this thing's over. Got a couple medium runners there who can definitely put some better times in. Track kind of quieting down a little bit here. Let's see who's the next one around. 78 Corvette. He is actually up by almost 6/10. See what he can do as he crosses the line. 124, 179. P13 for him. So we got Team B7 coming around through the first chicane in the Red Bull lobby host. Italy poses some problems. Have some huge sausage curbs here. You'll see as guys try to go side by side through them, it definitely is going to throw the cars off. And a lot of times will throw your car into another car if you're off of them. So we'll be keeping an eye on that tonight as these guys go diving into those chicanes. You'll see some, definitely see some action here, as those curbs can throw you for a loop and throw you out of whack. As Team B7 comes through that final sector now, we'll see what he can set for his first time of the night. Let's see, everybody kind of cuts down to that inside line. He's going to set a 124, 333. Looks like a McLaren next around. That is Texas Rooster on his outlap. Rooster and Hornet not set laps yet. They're both out there on their outlaps as the McLaren at Rooster has now started his lap. Diving down into 1 and 2, that first chicane. Like I say, this is going to be the action. As we ride on board, you can see how tight this corner is. These curbs can really throw you for a loop. And there you go. There's one right there. Rooster goes for a little bit of a slide. He gasses it back up. He'll try to set a lap anyways. At least get something in. As we have an Aston Martin of ZGS, looks like he is into the pits. AlphaTauri is at Warriors coming around to start a lap. Corgi starting a lap. After that, you got Chatty Duck in the Alfa Romeo. He is starting a lap as well. Noganator starting a lap as well. So we see a lot of these guys coming out to set some more laps. You have to bear with me as we do this. I know Italy is one of those tracks that has names for all the corners. I don't know them. I really don't. I'm not going to sit here and lie like I do. Green Hornets left the session here. Let's real quick jump over and send him an invite. Bear with me just a sec here. Alright, and we're back on board with Chatty Duck here in the Alfa Romeo, the lone Alfa Romeo today. He jumped over those softs here. Not hard to improve on the softs. Oops, bumped the button there. Still on board here with Chatty. Chatty Duck last week had a reserve role in Division 2, and I believe it was a third place finish for him over there, so definitely got the pace here. Steals a little bit of a draft there from the Alpine coming through the final corner. See what he can set as a 120.615 by Warriors, now the provisional pole. Chatty comes across the line with a 120.550. He's got him by just under a tenth. As you can see, those guys have about a second gap over T-Oc there in P3. Only 2 right now on the mediums. You got Rob HD there in 7th on the mediums of the 121.953, and then you have Lone Wolf with the 122.464 on the mediums. Just a sec here. Taking care of some stuff in the chat. Don't want the solicitation in the chat. People trying to sell things. We don't need any of that in there. You're just here to talk to the monkey. Watch some Division 5 Midwest F1 racing. As you can see, some times being set. We are just under 6 minutes to go You'll see these times set, and then you'll see some guys dive off. They'll try to get one more run in. Let's see, who do we have? Looks like Anto coming around. He is coming into the pits. A couple of AlphaTaris coming around. So you got Chunky Corgi. Warrior into the pits. Chunky Corgi into the pits. Got an Alpine coming around. Is that... not Murfola. That's going to be Valentine. He comes across the line with a 121.675. Jumps himself up into P6. So good run there by the Alpine. As he drops down to 7. Somebody else came across there. That was McLaren. The Noganator goes to P4. 121.297. So time's really starting to rattle off here as these guys diving down in there. Take a look at the points here. So in first place right now is Dusty Lusky. He's at 62 points. Going for big points this week. He's up in Division 4, so a lot more, not a lot, but quite a few more points to be gained if he has a good run there. And it looks like Murfola disqualified from the session for blocking the pit lane, so not sure what happened there. That'll drop him down to 17th, so he'll have to put in a little work today and try to do what he can to salvage any points he can. As we see, let's... Valentine the next round. Looks like he is probably not on a hot lap. As we get Green Hornet back in. Get yourself back in the car and you'll have enough time to get one lap in there. As we see Rob HD coming around on the softs now. Only a few cars out on track, so we'll go back through those points. So Dusty Lusky with 62. His teammate in the Alpine, Valentine, only 2 points back with 60 points. Grumpy Old Catman also reserving up this week, has 55 points. Jaser Nasser is 49 points, also reserving up. Deary Racing's gone this week, so he'll definitely take a little bit of a hit in the points. He's got Noganator only 1 point behind him. And then the Ferraris, a Lone Wolf and Brian Moss are back there. 36 and 32 points. So they'll be looking to gain points on Deary this week. Deary a quick driver, so he'll look to come back and fight back for that one. The Constructor Battle after 2 races of 16, though, is Alpine out front with 94 points. Aston Martin 1 point back right now with 93. Behind them, you got Haas with 79. Ferrari with 68. McLaren with 57. That'll be your top 5 in the Constructors. They will all look to gain a little bit today. As I said, you got a couple drivers missing tonight, so it could affect those Constructors for sure. So last week we had the winner of the race in Japan last week here in Division 5 was King David, a reserve. Okay, man, looks like he's actually reserved over in Division 6 this week. So good luck to him. And looks like he did take that win. Let's see. As we're still on board here, Rob HD out there with some laps. You're starting to see him file out of the pits here, put in some laps. As we are down under 2 minutes now, so if you are not out there yet, you want to get out there because, as we have lost Rob HD riding on board. Great view of that one. Lost the right front and the whole front wing. So his 121.953 on the mediums is his time set. So he will start on the mediums unless he gets jumped. Tough luck there for Rob HD here in qualifying with just under 2 minutes to go. You see the cars are just filing by. I was surprised the camera stayed on there that long with that one. And I went the wrong way to find Valentine starting a hot lap here. We'll see what he can do. Let's see, what do we got for time? 1:13 left, so if you are not out of the pits right now, you will not be setting a new lap. So I was looking for the Results from last week, King David, like I said, won that one. Dusty Lusky in second. Deary Racing in third. Valentine in fourth. Grumpy Old Catman in fifth. So that was your top 5 last week. Some of those guys not here this week, so we get a couple of them to watch. But other than that, got some reserving up and some missing today. As we see the Aston Martin of ZGS jumped up to P4 there with a 121.231 on the softs. Like I say, everybody on the softs now. Everybody's fast time except for Rob HT on the softs. Got the Ferraris coming across here. They're both starting their hot laps. Lone Wolf and Brian Mosser, 6th and 11th right now. 120.0, and Brian Mosser going to go for a little spin. Catches that same curve that Rooster caught just a little while ago. That will catch plenty of people out today, and especially during the race, we'll see plenty of these guys spinning off that curb. Green Hornet looks to still be having maybe some connection issues. Midwest F1 is brought to you by Raise Energy. Make sure to go on to repsports.com. That is going to be Raise Energy. Pick your bundle. When you go to checkout, you're going to enter the WF1 and save 15% on your order. Thanks to Midwest F1. We're here for Division 5. Round 3, the Italian GP. See Brian slowing down right there as he is not on a lap. ZGS, the next one around, is going to be done for this race as your timing has run out. Looks like Tiak may be the only one still, and he's on a slow lap. So that looks like that's going to be your order right there. So that spin by Rob did leave him on the mediums there in 9th place. So 2 laps on those that can go quite a ways. I personally, the one stops where it's at for me, but some others maybe burn through tires a little bit more than me. We'll see what they can do today. So Chatty Duck's going to be your pole sitter in the Alfa Romeo with a 120.215. 4/10 back of him, the Warrior in the AlphaTauri. Tiak in the Red Bull is going to be the 3rd place. ZGS in the Aston Martin in 4th, and then Noganator in 5th. So there we see Chatty Duck and the Warrior there in your front row. Tiak ZGS row 2, Noganator and Brian Mosser row 3, Chunky Corgi and Valentine in row 4. Row 5 is going to be Rob HD and Anto. Row 6, Lone Wolf and Alex. Row 7, Texas Rooster Team B. Row 8 is going to be A78 Corvette. And Green Hornet, who was having connection issues, hopefully he's back in here now and can get rolling with us. And then Marfola, who had a disqualification at the end of pit lane. So not sure what happened on that one, but he'll start from the back. He'll occupy row number 8 by himself. Or row number 9, sorry. As we get rolling here. We'll see how many laps this is. Like I said, I can't remember how many laps the 50% race is here. Gingy said 27 in the chat, which, if that's right, that is a really short race and should be interesting. But like I say, with the rain, talking about tires, and I kind of forgot that, really, it doesn't matter. If we have a rain race, that does not matter. As looks like the lobby may be having an issue here. We'll jump over into the chat. Give me a sec here. Let's take a look. And there it goes. It did load. As you do see, it is raining there. I'm going to go with... that might be right on the border of intermediates and wets, but I'm going to say intermediates, and that countdown is already down to 8 seconds. Obviously, somebody hit the button early. Somebody will be receiving a qualifying ban for next week. Very clear cut. Don't hit the exit the strategy screen. Don't be that person. As we may be still having lobby issues here. Give it just a second. Let's see what we get. And now the countdown starts again, so maybe somebody didn't hit the button. Alright, as you see, the cars are on the line. They will take off, do a formation lap here, warm up all the various parts of the car, the tires included. But as you can see, the wet weather has a little bit of interesting here. So we see, not sure what's going on here. Yeah, it looks like they're coming around here, getting the tires warmed up. You can see the field is very stretched out. I'd imagine you'll see Chatty slow up the field just a little bit here as they get going. Trying to keep them nice and tight. You don't want to get too far out as you sit on the grid and lose a little bit of heat in those tires. Hard to keep the heat in those tires right now. Like I say, it's kind of hard to keep the heat in the tires in the wet. A little bit of a lag there on my side. Not sure if that was mine or his. We'll hope that's more from my side than anybody else's. And by this time, the AI is taking over control. You can see that Ferrari of Lone Wolf is sitting sideways. Not sure how that one's going to turn out when we get this thing going. So we're Midwest F1 Division 5, round number 3 of 16. Italian GP in Monza. Got the Alfa Romeo, Ferrari-powered Alfa Romeo out front, doing the Italian crowd proud. As we see them all line them back up, but with that Ferrari sitting like that, not sure that the lobby is going to take off correctly here. And it puts it back in place, and looks like everybody is waiting on the lights as we have 3, 4, 5 red lights. And we're green here for the Italian GP. See him dicing a little bit, getting a little bit shaky off that start. Dicing back and forth. Warrior gets a great jump on Chatty. He is side by side. They're looking 3 wide, 4 wide. We jump through the field here to watch him come through one. See some contact there throughout the field. Nothing too extreme. Looks like Rooster got himself stuck on one of the sausage curbs in the wet. That's one of the worst things, but he does have all the wing there. So he'll just look to keep that thing pointed straight and keep going. Warrior did get the lead there, though. Chatty Duck in second. Tiok in third. ZGS holds on to fourth. Valentine up to fifth. Noganator drops to sixth. ZGS getting past Tiok. Anto with a 3-second penalty already. Looks like he's sliding around a little bit. Tough conditions out here as Alex dropped back. Not sure. Had a spin there. Probably through 2 or 3. Or 3 or 4, I mean. As he's dropped back a little bit behind the field. Fast lap here at Italy, so if you have an early race pit stop, it can create some issues. As we can see, Team B right behind Green Hornet. Not sure if that's AI or not, but if it is, that can be tough with no ghosting, though. So we'll jump back over there. As we see, the field has spread out some. Warrior's going to set your fast lap on the first lap, 135, 284. He will lead round or lap number 1 here as they have stretched out. A little bit of contact there between the Williams and Alpine. Looks like they are attached. He is right up the... as that is an AI car. So Murfola is an AI right now. Not sure what's going on here. Xanto does jump that curb. Like I was talking about, those curbs can really shoot you off. Got a little bit of mayhem going on in the back there. Not sure what's really going on. Got a couple of AI cars right now. Murfola and Green Hornet, I believe, are both in AI. Or not in the lobby at the moment. So not sure what's going on there. We jump on here. Valentine got about a half second back on Tiak for P4. Tiak, your pole sitter, has dropped down to 4th place. Struggling a little bit there in the wet. Not sure if he has been playing a lot. I know he had to step away from Midwest, his full-time seat. Not sure if he's racing elsewhere and keeping up, or if this is his first time back in the car. But tough luck if it is to come back for the rain, as Warrior goes to a 130.454. Out in the lead in that AlphaTauri. Chatty Ducks 2 seconds back. Another 2 seconds to ZGS. And then you got a train of Tiak and Valentine right behind. As we see the leaderboard jumps around for a second there. That AI. Oh, as we see the Red Bull, Tiak gets it loose and slides it out. Loses another spot now, down to 5th. He's going to have Noganator on his gearbox here if he's not careful. Brian Massa right behind him. Chunky Corgi gets around that AI. Picks up a 3-second penalty to do it, though. That's a crappy deal. As you see, Brian Mosser on the back of Noganator here. They're both chasing Tiak for that 5th place spot. Everywhere else in the field kind of getting spread out now as the rain is taking effect. We're on lap number 3 of 27. Gingy, I'll give you a shout out. 27 was correct. I swore it was a lot more. It should be a lot more. As fast as this track is, it should be a lot more laps than that. At least 30. Anyways, Brian Mosser still on the back of Noganator here. No DRS here for this race as they are in the rain conditions. They do not allow the DRS. They will have the ERS, so as you can see, these guys fairly even on that. Looks like Tiak has opened that back up to about 1.5 over Noganator. Noganator is under pressure. Rob HD right behind Brian. Trying to close in on him as Mosser is burning through that ERS, trying to get around Noganator. He wants to get this move done as early as he can. He wants to set sail and try to go after that 5th place spot. Won't have enough here to take a look, though. Closes it down to 3/10, right on the back gearbox of him. As we jump on board here, you can see how close this racing is. Down into that corner is tough on the wet, as Noganator gets a little bit of a squirrel there. And Mosser is going to get that pass on the Ferrari. The Ferrari into 7th place. 6th place. For some reason, Murfola is showing his leader, but he is not the leader. He's going really, really slow. Oh, man. Codemasters. So we keep rolling here. Warrior out front in the AlphaTauri. He's got a 2.6 second lead now. Showing the rain skills off. Runs it a little bit wide there. Don't want to do that too much. Can't pick up the penalties. Chetty Duck would be in 2nd place in the Alfa Romeo. I did say Tiak was a pole sitter, didn't I? He wasn't. He had started 3rd. Chetty Duck was pole sitter. So Tiak's only dropped 1 spot now. Anyways, Chetty Duck in the Alfa Romeo. Aston Martin ZGS here in 3rd place. Raced quite a bit with ZGS. He is a pretty good racer in the rain, but he is under the hunt of Tiak. Looks like Tiak is getting that rain of that Red Bull in. Maybe clip the wings a little bit. Sticking to the track a little bit better. He's down to a half second behind ZGS. As we see, Monster goes for a spin there. Did he lose any parts of the wing? He drops down to 8th in that Ferrari. You see that thing still sliding around. Looks to be intact. He'll get that thing its back straight here. He'll set sail and look to chase those guys back down. 8th place, still not a bad spot to be. Oh, looks like Green Hornet is back in, so he is in control of his car, so that's good. As he is being chased by Texas Rooster. These two know each other pretty well. I know there's going to be some shit talking between them after this one. Rooster will have this battle as he gets around the Hornet. Just ignore the timetable right now. It just has a mind of its own. Rooster opens that thing back up. Good run there by Rooster to get around Hornet. Set sail. He's 1.2 out in front. As we see everybody stretched out here. Valentine chasing Teok back down in the Red Bull. Valentine in that Alpine. The Alpine team out there leading the points. 1 and 2 in the Drivers' Championship. They're going to look to continue that. Not sure what everybody else has got going on in the other divisions. Excited to say we did have 6 divisions of commentary tonight. By far the most we've had covered on one night, so thank you to all the new commentators who have joined. Of course, you have Crash over there in Division 1 tonight, as always. The man, the myth, the legend. He's been here since day one. Has always been the voice of Midwest, so always happy to have him. Division 2, you got Original. He did Division 4 last week. He's in Division 2 this week. He's covering that one. That's where I was last week, was Division 2. Exciting race over there we saw. In Division 3, you got Elbows Out Racing. He is in the same spot he was last week. Brought us a great broadcast last week. In Division 4, we have DV60 Money Matt 1234. Former driver here. He came over to do some commentary. Happy to have him on board. He's doing Division 4 this week. You got the Monkey here in Division 5. And then over in Division 6, we have a new one that joined us. TRRL Ace Hedge is this will be his first broadcast with us, so thanks for him to join in. As we see, Green Hornet must have had a spin. Does he have his whole wing? He does have his whole wing, but he dropped back to 13th, so going to be looking to get back going as Team B7 there in 11th. Just fighting. We see the positions gained is pretty mild. You got 3 spots up for Hornet, Team B, Texas Rooster, and then Valentine up there in 5th. All up 3 spots right now. Let's see. So right now it's the 3 of them. Rooster, B7, and Valentine would be eligible for the hard charger. So we'll see how this progresses as the time goes. We're on lap number 7. Even though we're in the rain here, these laps really rattling off quickly. Warrior not wasting time, though. He's looking to open this thing up. He's up to a 4.9 now. Almost 5-second gap on Chatty Duck. Showing the Alpha. It's the Alpha battle. The AlphaTauri versus the Alfa Romeo. Spelt different. Same sound. AlphaTauri is definitely winning this battle here. Warrior out front. Chatty Duck right behind. God, is that Lone Wolf in the pits right now? Yep, that's Lone Wolf down there in the pits. So in third, you got ZGS, but he is under attack by Teok and Valentine. As we jump on here, Teok right on the back of ZGS. Don't think he'll have enough. He is going to kind of stick the nose out there. Philip Amir tuck back in. Coming through 1 and 2, you can see nice and tight here. Looks like maybe a little bit of let up on the rein. Teok gets a little bit loose there. Valentine going to take a look on the right-hand side. We jump off board. Will he get that pass done? Coming through 3. And looks like he will down into the 4-5 chicane. Tough racing here. Valentine will get that spot. He's up to 4th now. That would put him in the hard charger role with 4 spots gained from his P8 spot. But he's not done yet. He's searching for ZGS. He wants that podium. He's got to get as many points as he can with some of his competitors that are close to him up in Division 4 tonight. Reserving up is going to mean so much to a lot of these drivers to keep their championship hopes rising. So anytime they get the chance, they are jumping on it. If you're new to Midwest F1, we have 7 divisions. And how it works is if, say, a Division 2 driver is missing, the Division 3 drivers from that team have first dibs to move up and gain more points. Division 1 down through Division 7 make a different amount of points from the top to bottom. So it's definitely worth it to reserve up. You can gain more points and work on that driver's championship. Your constructor points do stay in whatever division you're in for that day. So like Dusty today will be in Division 4. His constructor points will stay there, but his driver points will come with him. As you see, this battle still raging on. A little bit of a gap opened up from ZGS to Valentine. Tiak still within that second range. Jump on here, Rob HD on the back of Noganator. Only about 3/10 back, the Mercedes versus McLaren. As Monster has closed down to 4.6, he was about 8.5, probably about 3 laps ago. So definitely cutting this down as these two battle. He'll continue to look to close in. Anto looks like he got around B7 down there for 11th. See the gaps pretty wide open everywhere. We stay on board here with Rob HD as he's looking to hunt down Noganator. Got a straightaway here. He'll look to get this done. Noganator gets a little bit better run out of the corner in that McLaren. Moves over to the right. Trying to break that slipstream a little bit. Looks like Rob's not trying to get any. He doesn't want to try to have too much of a gain. He's going to look to capitalize when he can. Not stick his nose in a bad spot. As you see, pretty even out of that corner. 6th place up for grabs here. Tiak closing in a little bit on Valentine. We'll kind of keep an eye on that time as we're going here. Rob HD looking to get this job done. He's going to slide a little bit. That'll give Noganator just a little, probably about a 3-mile-an-hour gap. It's really what it came down to there. A little bit of slide. You give up so much. And down this long straight, that can really burn you. Stays on the slipstream. Going to keep about the same distance behind him. As you can see, not far off that battle right in front of them. Anybody up there has a slip. As we're right along here, Rob does get a little bit of a tire breaking loose there. As he does drop now to 1.8 back. So jump over here. Team B7 not done with Anto for that 11th spot. Anto into the pits. This will be our first pit stop. As he gets a speeding into pit lane. That's a bummer. Green Hornet up to 12th now. He's looking to fight back. I don't know if this is actually Murfola. I don't know what the timing is. Jump on board, see if we can see if he's back in the lobby now. But the timings are so far off. It says he's 25, I believe, but Chunky is not 14 seconds behind him, so you can see the time off of him is not moving around. So not sure what's going on with that. Anto picks up another 5-second penalty there. Tough luck. As you see, Murfola does Silver Red X, so Murfola will not count on the grid as it stands now. ZGS in that Aston Martin is going to tuck into the pits. He's going to the softs. Is that what? Oh, hey. Yep, he's going to the softs. Puts a new front wing on. Looks like maybe had a little wing damage. We have our first soft goer. We're going to see, is this going to be a strategy that's going to work out for him? I don't know. He's the risk taker here. Coming on the Aston Martin. He drops down to 10th place behind Texas Rooster. We'll see if those things around this first corner, we'll be able to tell real quick how those are like right here. It looks like maybe a lap or two too early, but I don't, as you look back, you don't see a lot of spray. Jump up on a different car. No, there's not a lot of spray off those tires. So we'll see if he can hold on to it and how this is going to play out for him. He was in 3rd place when he came in. trying to play that strategy and gain a little bit on those front two. Rob's closed it back down to 1.1 now. He's got Monster, though, closing in down to 3.6. Teok still in the back of Valentine here. Over a second behind, but he's not getting away, that's for sure. See Valentine behind a lap car. I believe that's going to be Lone Wolf. Hopefully we'll see the lap car may give way here. Stay on board. Valentine here, chasing down. He's in third place right now. Took over third place as ZGS pit. Watching that timing, though, that interval to Rooster, ZGS is losing quite a bit of time there. This lap alone already lost 5 seconds since he's come out. So definitely too early on that call. Tough luck there, because that was definitely a podium. He was looking at a podium if he could just keep out there. Maybe a little bit too early of a call. I don't think we'll see anybody else coming in. Warrior's going to be the first one to come around. 5.3 seconds out in front of the Alfa Romeo of Chatty. Dominating performance here. Got the lead off the start by just a great jump down into one. Cleared him and took off and has not looked back. He's looking to the right. Nope, he's just staying to the right here. As we see, well, I would imagine our lap times should start rattling off here a little bit more. Chatty in second, Valentine in third, 10.4 back from Chatty. Not too far behind him, Teok in the Red Bull. Then you got Noganator in the McLaren. The Mercedes of Rob HD. Ferrari, Brian Mosser in seventh. Chunky Corgi, the other AlphaTauri in eighth. That's going to be your top performing team so far, first and eighth. Texas Rooster and then McLaren gets around that AI of Merfola. He is up into ninth now. Like I say, you got then back here. Yep, still a red X, so just verifying. So Merfola there. I'm not sure. He'll probably be dropped down the standings as he is not in the room. Haven't seen him join and drop. Not sure what happened there. So Team B7 is going to be in essentially 10th. As you can see, Merfola drop. ZGS 11th. Alex in 12th. Corvette in 13th. Hornet in 14th. Anto in 15th. And then Lone Wolf in 16th. So we're 13 laps in. Almost halfway through this race. 17 runners still on the track. 16 if you don't count the AI car of Merfola. But still, no DNFs. These guys have a clean race so far. We've had some battles and we've had some stretchbacks. But now we see Rob HD, the Mercedes, has hunted back down that McLaren and Noganator. Noganator's got to be thinking, just keep this thing straight, and hopefully he makes another mistake, because he has closed in on him. But getting to the back of somebody and actually getting around them is a whole other story. As you see Green Hornet into the pits there, throws on a fresh set of intermediates. We'll see how this one goes, though, as ZGS did go out on those softs. And he's still out there on them, so he's trying to make them work. That being said, he has dropped a lot of time. Drops another spot in a Corvette. As you see, Rob HD still right on the back. And just can't get enough to get around him. And I think turn 2 is gonna be the one that he's mad about later. And every time he gets close, it seems like he's just breaking it loose, trying to get out of 2, trying to get that little bit of extra speed, and spins him, and loses that gap again, because he's back up to 8/10 now. He'll look to close back in on that one as we watch this battle for 5th place. Either way, it's still a good run by either driver here. They're having a good, solid run. I feel like the rain brought out some strategy here, driving-wise, to just keep the wheels on this thing. That's huge, as Rooster drops down to 16th now, up to 9th. Not sure what's going on there. ZGS into the pits, a 5-second penalty, going from bad to worse. Tough luck there. He'll drop, probably stay right there where he is in 15th now, I would imagine. Rob got it down to about 3/10 again. He's going to look to close it down the front stretch. Will he have a shot down into one? We jump on board. Noganator trying to break a little bit of that slipstream. Not quite enough there. It's going to have to be a little bit of a late braking. I don't know that he's got enough to do it here, but we'll see if he tries. Nope, fills up that right side mirror. Noganator tucks back in. 1 and 2 here. He's going to look to try to get off smooth. Noganator with a little bit of a slide. Rob says, whatever you can do, I can do better. Gets it a little bit more sideways. Loses a little bit of a gap. Back up to 5/10 now. As you can see, he's got the speed. Looks like maybe a little less downforce on that Mercedes than the McLaren. But just not enough coming up out of the corners there. A little bit of a spin each time. That one every time drops about 1/10 to 2/10. ZGS picks up a 3-second exceeding track limits penalty. As you can see right there again, just breaking a little bit loose coming up out of the corner. So Noganator pulls away and then he closes them back in. But that isn't a recipe for a pass here in the rain. As they are closing in on a lap car. It looks like a Haas of Green Hornet. Is that correct? Yep, that is. That's Green Hornet there. They'll try to get by him nice and clean. So we're still on board here. The McLaren-Mercedes battle. The Noganator and Rob. This has been going on for about 4 or 5 laps now. Actually, even more than that. Rob got to him probably about lap 11. It really started. And Noganator got away by about 1.5. Rob closed back down on him. But like I was talking, if you watch him come off the corner, he's just a little bit loose. There's that little bit of slide. Lets Noganator slide out a little bit. Noganator opens it back up. Rob closes in on him. ZGS will pull down into the pits and retire from this thing. Tough luck today, didn't want to collect the points. That is a tough one. As he was running in third before he decided to go into the soft, and then the soft burn him. Looks like his AI is going to pull out, but he did retire correctly. He was in the pits when he retired. I can verify. Hopefully that doesn't interfere with... Is it Valentine? Nope, it was Merfola, so we'll see that. Warriors still leading the way. Chatty has closed that gap down under 4 seconds. As you can see him off in the distance there. Maybe some tire wear coming in as we have there. Oh, that's just great. That is just wonderful. Is it gone? Okay. The AI decided to retire the car in the middle of the corner. So, good job by Warrior there. Tough luck if you would have had any incident from that. Really not much we can do. The computer is the one that did it. ZGS did retire in the pits. It just decided to pull his car out. Teox, that's a 130.015 for a fast lap. So we're starting to see these laps time down just a little bit. Teox back in 7th. As he has thrown on some fresh intermediates. They're going to try to go the rest of the way. I'm going to say that some of these guys are going to try to take those things 27 laps. I'm not going to say it's impossible. But now with less rain, the heat of the tires will go up. The wear will go up. So I don't know if we're going to see any pit stops. Teox took his first here out of the top group. Rooster not too far behind, though. They're in 9th. He's going to set his first set. Or set a fresh set of intermediates there in 9th. So he's looking for that top 10. Other than that, you got your top 6. Still 16 laps on those things coming around for lap number 17. And 10 laps to go here for the Warrior out front. 2.2 out in front of Chatty Duck. Chatty is closing down on him. Valentine 11.7 back from P2. And he is on the final podium spot. Then you got Noganator in 4th. Rob HD in 5th. So we see the battle still going on. The real question is, will these guys pit for a fresh set of intermediates? Are they just trying to stretch these things until they can come in and get a set of softs? But I am not seeing any kind of rooster tails off these wet tires as they go down the straights. but they do still look to be sliding around a little bit. So I'm not sure how this one's going to play out. Like I say, 9.5 laps to go now. Chatty is closing that gap. We'll jump on board with him here. He's 1.3 back. Just about 3 laps ago, he was about 3.2. He's definitely closing that gap and closing it quickly. Warrior's going to try to keep him behind him. I think we might start to see some strategies here with the softs. If they do swap over to the slick tires, that one really plays against Tiak, who made that pit stop just 2 laps ago for the fresh intermediates. See, Warrior's down to 15%. Chatty with 90%, so he's got that thing down under a second. I have a feeling we could see DRS show up here before the end of this thing. I think we're going to see some tire changes coming up soon. Somebody's going to pull that trigger early. Who will it be? As you can see, Chatty got that thing down to 0.8 now. Really pushing the wheels off that Alfa Romeo. Intermediate, starting to look like slicks. Maybe that's why they're still working. They're starting to look like slick tires, so they're working good on this drying track as they get going. Got 9 laps to go. See, Alex and Lone Wolf swapping positions back there as Alex is in the pits. As we see some pit stops going on here, everybody is still in intermediate, so I'm not sure how this one's going to play out for these two up front. I think at this point it's kind of a pissing match. Is either of them going to make the call, and who will it be? And will the other one bounce back, or will they just try to stretch it and play out the intermediates as long as they can? But it is starting to look really dry out there. I don't see any puddles. There's no rooster tails off those tires. I mean, I got to think the slicks have got to be coming before the end of this thing. But who's going to be the first? That's the question. As you can see, Chatty has closed in. He's at that 0.5 mark. Just can't get enough to get him down that front stretch. Coming through 1 and 2. Looks like Chatty slides it a little bit. Drops back to 0.8. See Alex and Anto here fighting over up. Anto's in the pits, that's why. And of course that lovely little glitch that it does. So Rooster coming up from D6, going to pick up some solid points here in P9 so far. That'll be a good contest there, good haul of points he can take back to his Division 6 seat at McLaren. Murfola is up from Division 7 actually, and unluckily got disconnected. Tiak with a 129.988. So we see the lap time dropping just a little bit more. Jump back up here. Chatty still chasing down Warrior. 0.6 back. So who else do we have? Corvette and Anto are going to be your other ones. Corvette and Anto, 15, 16. Still not bad. I mean, they're still collecting more points than they would have if they were in that position in Division 6. So as we see, you have 7 drivers who have not pit. The ruling is with the wet tires, you do not have to pit. There is no required pit stop if you run the wet tires, so we could see these guys stretch these things 27 laps to the end. We will be doing it as I throw my controller across the floor. Of course, I had to go behind stuff, so I had to go digging for it. Sorry about that. As I did go onto the onboard, we don't want to do that.
Getting crazy.
Still watching this battle for that lead. Gotta say, not a lot of penalties on the on the field today either, as you got 3 seconds for Chunky Corgi, 11 for Anto. All in all, that's a pretty good day for penalties. As we look at the Hard Charger Award right now, Merfola wouldn't be available for it, as he has not been in the lobby. So right now, Valentine looks like he would solidify that Hard Charger. As they bounce around a little bit. Always throws it off. But Rooster and Rob HD were right one spot behind, so if they can gain anything, we'll see them jump up. As we see a lap car in there, please don't get in the way. Holy crap, that was close. The AlphaTauri does hold him off. Going through 2. Jetty Duck does take a look, gets a little bit sideways. That AI car is insane. AI car out here trying to race these guys who are battling for the lead with 6 laps to go. Just can't be mad at anybody but the computer for that one, because that was just dumb. Pull over and let these guys by. They're fighting for this race win here. Warrior just showing everything he's got here, as Mosser maybe went for a spin there. Tiot gets around him. He's in P6 now. Closing in, he's got those fresher intermediates. He's looking to really do whatever he can here to keep up with them. Jump back over there. We want to stay on board with this one. The Chatty Duck and Warrior battle for the lead. AlphaTauri, Alfa Romeo. They're going to fight this thing one to the end. They're going to have 5 laps to go this time by. We've had no virtual safety car. We've had no safety cars. I got to say, Division 5, throwing down everything and just going at it. Looks like maybe a couple of connection issues with some people, but all in all, this has been a good race. I mean, anything where you stretch out this far and don't have any safety cars is awesome. As you see the Alfa Romeo Chatty really putting the pressure on there, gives them just a little bit of tap. Valentine back in the back stretch, or coming down the front stretch here, sitting on the podium. He's got a 7.6 lead. Rob did drop back. He lost that sight of Noganator there, 2.5 back. Still holding on to a P5 though, but he's gonna not want to look too soon, as we have a VSC. Did we lose somebody? Did we have some spinners? Looks like I don't see anybody. Oh, there we go. Turn 1. Who was it? Looks like Tiok maybe had an issue. Mosser was into the pits there. We're still in a virtual safety car. Hopefully we don't get any drive-through penalties, because at this point in the race, a drive-through penalty could suck. As looks like should be going green here soon. Hopefully no penalties, like I say. What's up, Cowboy? Missed a heck of a race here. This is our first any sort of safety car. On lap number 23, we have a VSC. Couldn't honestly tell you what it's for. The game just deciding it was time for one. Warrior into the pits. Chatty gonna stay out there. Warrior, what kind of decision could this play out to be? He could drop a few spots here. Merfola is not actually going to be counted, so don't pay attention to that one. Valentine, he's gonna get around Warrior. What did Warrior go to though? Went to the intermediates. Merfola on the softs as an AI. So Warrior gonna drop P4, maybe even P5 here. Nope, he will hold on to P4, but gave up the lead for the fresh intermediates. Maybe had some wing damage. He's going for off-roading there in that AlphaTauri. Pulls back out in front of that Williams. Maybe a little bit of frustration setting in for the AlphaTauri. Gave up a podium. Not only that, but the win. Chatty Duck gonna run away with this thing. 15.3 seconds out there. 3.5 laps to go. Tough luck there for Warrior. Took the lead from the start. Led 23 laps of this thing. Makes a decision to pit. Ultimately could burn him. I'm gonna guess maybe he had a puncture or something, or was on the verge of one, is why he made that call. We see Chatty Duck. He's still Still pushing those intermediates. We have 4 drivers now still on the original intermediates that they started on. You can see that thing is sliding around. We'll see if he's going to make the decision to come in here. And he does. So we have another pit stop. Chatty Duck coming to the pits. What's Valentine going to do now? Warrior gets around Noganator. That's going to put him back on the podium. We'll see where he plays out against Chatty Duck here. I thought these guys would push it as Warrior back into the pits. Did he break a wing off? He must have broke a wing off, I would imagine. He's going to go back into the pits, lose a couple more spots here. Chatty goes onto the softs and... not sure what's going on there. The game has decided that the Alfa Romeo is going to go nowhere. Maybe that's just on my end. Not really sure what's going on with that one. But we'll jump back over. Noganator and Rob, all within a second of each other right now, both on the intermediate still. See how this plays out. We do see a mixture still. We have 5 runners on the softs. Valentine, the leader of those, though. He has got about a 5.5 second lead over Warrior. As Chatty still sitting in the pits there, not sure what happened with that one. As he leaves the session and his car pulls away. What the heck? Jump over, see if he said anything in chat. That was weird. Nothing in chat right now. Noganator going to look to hold on to this thing. He's going to keep chugging along on these intermediates. 2 laps to go. 25 in the books. 2 laps to go. Can Noganator... hey, can he hold off Rob? Rob right up the gearbox there. He's going to come down into 1. Backs off. Gives him a little bit of room. Can Valentine on the softs close in 12.5 seconds in 2 laps? I'm not going to say it's impossible. Depends how much those intermediates are sliding around. Team B7 is going to pick up a 5 second into the pits. So right now, Noganator could take your victory here for Division 5. Been running around in the around that 5th spot area. Plays a little strategy here at the end. Stays out. Has a 8/10 lead right now over Rob. They have an 11 plus second lead over Valentine. Valentine's holding off Warrior by 3.4. We see a huge mix in the running order here. Not quite sure. We had a little, it looks like maybe a little bit of a pit glitch. Chatty Duck dropped to 8th. Probably should have been around that 4th to 5th, 3rd area right there around Valentine and Warrior. But Noganator looking to hold off Rob. And they got Lone Wolf behind him. Lone Wolf is 1 lap down. Running in 9th though, so it's still a good run there by Lone Wolf. Can't be mad at a top 10. As this Ferrari teammate there in 5th, so good run there by the Ferrari boys. Got a couple of AlphaTauris in the top 10 as well. Rob trying to chase down Noganator as you see the AI of Chatty, because Chatty had left sets, not sure if it was a disconnection. Valentine 1:24.716 for Warrior. Rob gets that move done, but you can see that time counting down. 1 lap to go. I think he's going to be able to, as long as these guys can get around the track, they are going to finish 1-2. But Noganator not ready to give this thing up yet. As he gets alongside, he's going to get the move done. Rob drops back in line. Noganator back to the lead here on the final lap. Those intermediate tires are just sliding all over. He's got a field backed up behind him. Does he have a puncture? Oh, he's got a left rear puncture. That brings up Noganator. Can Noganator hold on for this final sector? 1 sector to go. 27 laps he's going to be doing on these things. You can see just by this view even, you can see these things are slicks. I mean, there is nothing left on them. Can he hold on? Valentine down to 3.3 back of him. I don't think he's going to have enough to get him. Noganator coming through the final section here. He is going to bring this thing home, the McLaren, to the top step of the podium. What a run by Noganator. What a strategy call here to stay out on those tires. He comes home with P1. Valentine and Warrior are going to round out your podium. Merfola is not in there. Rob in 4th. Brian Mosser in 5th. Tiak in 6th. I guess I should let him finish before I start calling them out here. They're coming around the final corner. Tiak does have a bead on Brian. Will they have enough to get around him? This is at the line. Oh, they both have penalty. Oh, no, Tiak has penalty anyway, so it's not going to matter. He would have lost. He was down by .004, though, at the end, so that's going to put Mosser in 5th, Tiak in 6th, Chunky Corrigan, the other AlphaTauri, in 7th. Merfola is not going to be classified. I believe Chatty Duck will get classified, though, because he was there for the majority. He was there 90% at least. I believe that's how that would work. Don't quote me on that. We'll see what the stewards come up with on that. Got Alex there. He'll be in 9th. Lone Wolf still rounds out that top 10 in the Ferrari. Rooster in 11th. B7 in 12th. Corvette in 13th. Anto in 14th. Green Hornet in 15th. So the battle between Rooster and Hornet's going to go to Rooster this week. The shit talking will commence. We'll get a party started here and get these guys in for a quick interview. Won't be anything too extensive. Alright, so we'll wait for these guys to join. Jump back over here. We'll take a look at your finishing order tonight. McLaren on the top step there with Noganator taking the victory. What a finish that was. We saw punctures from those intermediates. Noganator nursed them to the end there, ran about that 5th, 6th area all race, and then took advantage when he could and brought it home on the top step with some exciting racing. One virtual safety car late in the race. Other than that, we had a clean and clear race. So Midwest F1 Division 5 really bringing the fire tonight. Creating a great stream for us. Anybody who's watching was lucky. All the people that are going to go back and watch this later are going to be in awe. This was such a good race. I don't care what anybody says. We got 7 divisions racing. 7 of the best divisions. As apparently I don't get to see the running order. Anyways, we had Noganator up top. Then Valentine brought it home in 2nd. Yeah, for some reason it... So we'll go ahead and jump out of there. Do we have anybody in here? Nobody in the party yet. Let me jump over and tell them to get their butts in here. Just a moment here. We're just trying to get these guys into the party. Hopefully they remember to turn their party sharing on so that we can hear them, or you can hear them. I'll be able to hear them, but hopefully you guys can as well. As we're just waiting here, see if anybody jumps in. We'll give them a couple minutes. If not, then we will end this thing. We just watched Midwest F1 Division 5, the Italian GP, round number 3. Excitement down to the end. We saw Warrior jump out front, dominate 24 laps of this thing. And then the weather changed. The dries came out. Pit stops ensued, and Noganator decided not to do it. Well, I I don't know that we're going to get anybody. I'm not going to drag this thing on too long here tonight. Oh, there we get one. We'll go ahead and jump on with you right away, Noganator. Man, what a race. That was yeah, definitely. You know, you were running solid all day, and that around, like I was saying, around 5th, 6th for the whole race, and then just took advantage. How burnt were those intermediates at the end? Yeah, yeah. Sometimes to get a win, sometimes you just have to stretch it. Yeah, he chased you for a long time. I caught a lot of that, so you have to watch it back. I did definitely catch a lot of it, and then he ended up getting a left rear puncture there with about just after the end of. Yeah, it wasn't much, but he dropped quite a bit there. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, what I liked, it was a nice and clean. If he didn't have it, he tucked back in. You guys had a good racing there. Is this your is this your first league race win? Nice. Well, nice. I think we have to send you back to D2. There. Hey, that's the way you do it, though. Well, congratulations on that. That's all I got for you tonight. Good race tonight, and thanks for the entertainment. And then we'll go to Warrior next. P3 led the majority of this thing. Was the call that you made? I saw you had to make a second pit stop. Did you lose a wing? Okay. I didn't catch that you had switched there, and that's what it was. I wondered if you had a wing damage, but I had to jump back over. Didn't quite catch your pit stop, so tough luck there. But you still fought back, got that podium, sitting pretty good. It looks like you're having a pretty good season so far. Had one DNF, but it looks like you're was it fourth? I think week one. Yep. Yeah, definitely. It was definitely a fight there at the end. Glad to see you bounce back to the podium, though. Congratulations on that. And what's your confidence for next week? Oh man, now you got to make me have to look. I should have known that already. Hush. Looks like we are at Azerbaijan next week, Baku. Yeah, definitely. I think that's kind of everybody's hope as they head into that one. So, well, congratulations on the fight back. Tough luck on the loss of the win, but you still fight back at a podium and get some solid points. Definitely. So we bring in Valentine. Valentine, hell of a fight there. I mean, you were in the mix the whole race. Got quite a bit of airtime as you were fighting and battling with quite a few drivers there. In the end, though, you bring it home P2. Solid race for you. How you feeling after that one? Definitely. Were you in fuel management at any point throughout there? Okay. Well, that's not bad at all then. Yeah, that's definitely not too bad then. So, how's your outlook for next week at Baku? Definitely, it's one of those you can gain or lose a whole lot. Much like I was talking early in the stream, finishing the races here in Midwest is huge. The way the points are set up, DNFs are killer. I honestly think you can't do a whole lot once you get 2 or 3 DNFs on the season. It's going to be tough to fight back from that because you lose so many points. So, good luck next week. Congratulations on the race tonight, and we will see you next week. All right, that's the interviews for tonight. We will check off for Midwest F1 Division 5. Congratulations to Noganator tonight on the win. Your podium after that, Valentine and Warrior. That is all we have tonight. We will look to set back next week. Not sure what division I'll be in for next week, but we will definitely bring you another show, hopefully as exciting as that one. So we are good to go. We will see you next week.